Today is on journeying in the three vehicles brings joy. That's where we are, right? It's episode 5653. So although sentient beings listen to teachings of the great Dharma, they're unwilling to believe and accept it and thus follow the teachings. Listening is one thing, obviously, to realize it and practice it, that's another. So this is the part about knowing and understanding the Dharma, which is still very early knowledge and depends on the cleverness of one person. So that no great aspiration and remain stuck in the true realms. So this great aspiration must come with taking on the aspiration of vows. So it's Master's explanation. Sentient beings listen to Dharma and unwilling to accept that. I think that that's one of the things that is very daunting, especially for someone who hasn't gone to any realization to take on the Dharma, because the Dharma, often people say that is very difficult and it's very gloomy because you're talking about suffering all the time. So people like this rely only on themselves, listen to the Dharma, and that won't make any difference. And that will, the knowledge obviously will die with the mind at the end of life. So to do this, we must have to make this great aspirational vows. So only then one can take on the path sincerely and earnestly and steadfastly. So in the Fivefold Dhammakaya, liberated understanding, which is the last of the Fivefold Dhammakaya, which is having the perfect knowledge of the first four, can be achieved only through a wisdom life. It's come into contact with the Buddha Dharma and become one with the universe. Now this is on Buddha's visit to the Kapilavastu. So at that time when he visited Kapilavastu, at the invitation of the father, of course, King Sodahana, and at that time, there were a number of noble ones of the royal family who were ordained. But there's one story has it that the Buddha wanted to ordain Upali before the princess. Upali actually was a barber. Okay, and Upali, obviously, because of all this, not only King Brother Dacha, but also the princess as well, who are the Buddha's cousins, have to bow to Upali. And that was, they find great difficulty in doing that. So it was not just King Brother Dacha, but also the princess as well. Have great difficulty doing that because they also very low castes. But we must also understand that Upali became one of the foremost disciples of the Buddha. And for those who understand the Vinaya rules were all drafted by Upali. And this was done after when Buddha attained Parinirvana, when Mahakassapa called for the first Congress of the Buddhas, of all the Arahats, actually, the 500 Arahats. Upali was one of them. Upali was the one who drafted the Vinaya rules that thus we have what we have today. And that is very much taken up by the monastic practitioners. So the lessons learned, for us, we are like our own doctors, spiritual practice. And so we actually are our greatest master. Okay, we are the greatest master to ourselves. We can listen to the Buddha, we can listen to our master, but if we don't accept the prescription, at the end of the day, nothing is going to happen to us. And this is why we have to practice what we have learned. And sometimes we also preach to our children, preach to our friends, whoever we come across as a result of that. So we got to walk the path and walk the talk. So if we can thoroughly understand these principles, then we can freely navigate through the Dharma. Then we will feel peaceful and at ease. So we must listen, we must listen to understand and also to realize and to apply what we have realized into our practice. And only then we can eliminate our afflictions. After that, we can form great aspiration by making the great vows to walk the Bodhisattva path. So you're all familiar with the 4 great vows we undertake. So all this Dharma can help us attain freedom and a peace of mind. And because we take on the Bodhisattva path, it's long and the load is heavy. The load is heavy because we're on the great white ox cart. We have to help to transform others. So therefore, we must be very diligent and mindful in walking the path. So a short contemplation today. And be humble and patient in your practice. And this is what happened when the Buddha returned back to Kapilavastu, the kingdom of the father, King Sodahana, and all the princes and King Brotadatta had to prostrate to Upali and the other Sangha members. So very much the same way. We need to be very humble and patient in our practice. And that's why when we bow, we always put our temple, our head touches the floor. And that is a show of humbleness and humility. And what you think you are not. And that's a problem because that's what we think we're just a worldly mind. What you do not, you are. And that is where we have this paradox in a lot of the teachings that we have and the cleverness that we have. And that's the reason why we have to contemplate. So we just be. And that's when the stillness of the mind can be. So on relationship, this is about having a hearty relationship. And it's a heartfelt relationship. See, when you care, you awaken the heart and you care for others. And it's important, especially for those whom we are close to us. And when we serve, we move the heart, and including those who are near to us and far from us. So when you practice, you steady the heart. And when you purify, you will then still your heart. And then you will no longer have any mental afflictions. Okay, Gan En brothers and sisters, that's all.
Yeah, Gan En so much, BrotherChin, for the
651.
Yeah, perfect. Gan En so much. Okay, can we take a group photo? Please on all the videos so that we can, our compulsory photo session set by Sister Irene. Must take. Otherwise, our session is not complete. Yeah, welcome everyone for post-Xun Fa Sang sharing, and of course, continue later on. Sister YY.